guys, so it's been a minute just to pop on here and just check in and see how everybody's doing. I hope your Saturday afternoon is going great. Hopefully not as boring as mine, so just I thought to share a few random thoughts. Well, not so random. We all know that Mother's Day is just around the corner, so I was just doing a little bit of reflection on being a mom, motherhood, and what that means to me and what goes into it. And I was just asking myself, like, I don't know if anybody does this, but sometimes I just go back in time and look at myself without child, how my life was, etc., and just ask myself a few questions. And I normally would say, okay, when it comes to career, if I was, and let me just say this, I feel like when it comes to topics like this, you always have to make that little disclaimer that says, oh, I love my children and I'll do anything for my children. You have to make that disclaimer before you say stuff like that, because it's easy to get judged and whatnot. So I know that that's what it is, but I just want to say right now that this is a safe space, okay, and there'll be no judgment whatsoever, and there'll be no negative energy, okay? So let's get right into it, okay? So I ask myself these questions, like, if I didn't have a child, sometimes when I'm working and I have to balance motherhood and work, I feel like, oh, if I didn't have a child, for instance, how different would things have been for me? I feel like I would have done so much more, etc., etc. And I know that I'm not the only one who sometimes feel like this, and I know that people sometimes also feel like, okay, let me ask this question: if you knew then what you know now, what would you have done differently? Would that have changed your when you just like the date or the time that you decided you were going to have a child? Would that have affected if you would have had a child at all? I'd like to know that. I'm interested to know. Just share your thoughts on that. Would you have been like, okay, if I knew that this is what went into being a mom or motherhood, I would have waited and had kids maybe a bit later on, or I would not have done it at all? And I know it's controversial, but it is what it is. These are real thoughts. These are, as mothers, these are things that we talk about. It does not mean we do not care about our children or we don't love our children. Of course we do. Children are a blessing, as we all know. But yeah, these are real. I'd like to know your thoughts on that. Let's talk about it.